Today we're going to review the process of re-slinging our Aruba 7A70 stacking armchair. The tools required for this process are going to be a 3/8 driver, a 5/16 driver, a pair of angled cutters, a flathead screwdriver, a rubber mallet, our telescope sling starters, and our telescope spreader tool. So I'm going to start by getting the tension removed from this sling. In order to do that, I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to start by removing these two stretcher bars here. So I'm going to use my spreader tool. I'm going to place it in close proximity to this notch bar here. I'm going to push down on my tool to spread the frame apart. I'm just going to lift this bar out. You can set this bar aside. Next, I'll get my 5/16 driver ready. And I'm going to remove one side of this stretcher bar here, the 5/16 fastener. I'm going to remove that completely and I'll set it aside. Then I'm going to use my spreader tool to spread the frame again, lift the stretcher bar up out of the way, and then release the tension. So now while I'm here, I'm going to go to my 3/8 driver and I'm going to back these fasteners out about 1/2 inch, still leaving them inserted in the frame. So just about 1/2 inch on each side. Then we'll do the same in the front. We've got 2 more here in the front. We'll back them out about 1/2 inch. And once we've got those backed out, now I'll go to my flathead screwdriver. I'm just going to remove my seat rail caps on the top here and set those aside. We'll leave the seat rail caps in the bottom of the seat. Just remove them from the top. And once I've got those removed, I'm going to move the chair down to the floor here. It's going to be easier for me to work. I'll have a little bit better leverage to remove the existing sling and install my new one. So once I got my seat caps removed, I'm just going to hold down on the frame with my foot here to help support it. And I'm just going to slide this sling out evenly. Once I get the existing sling out, now I'm going to go to my telescope sling starters. I'm going to install these into the end of the seat rail to help guide the replacement sling into place. And once I've got my replacement sling, I'll note the location of the label. I'll start the sling evenly on both sides. And I'll just feed the sling down the seat rails. I want the sling to be nice and tight on my seat rail caps down here. And I can remove my sling starter. If I've got any dowel that's sticking out past the end of my seat rail extrusions here, I can use my angle cutters to cut that dowel off. Then I'll grab my rubber mallet and my seat rail plugs and I'll reinstall those. So once those have been reinstalled, you can move the chair back up to the table and we're ready to put the sling back under tension. So I'm going to go to my 3/8 driver, and in all 4 of my locations now, I'm going to send these fasteners all the way home. Do the same in the front. Once we get all of those tight, then we're going to go back to our 5/16 driver to replace the fastener here in the top of the back. We'll use our stretcher tool to line that up. Reinstall our 5/16 fastener. And our last step will be to install our notch bar here. So again, we'll use our telescope spreader tool. We'll get one side started, and we'll just spread the frame Get the other side seated. And that will complete the re-sling process of our Aruba 7A70 stacking armchair.